Look at this, a Christmas in black and white. There's a tree, decorated with ornaments, but the Christmas spirit seems to be lacking. What about this? Now, the Christmas spirit is visible. There's red, yellow, and blue baubles, golden strands tangled around the branches of the tree. Now, how is this possible? Let's go back to the early 20th century, where under the invitation of film producer Charles Urban, George Aubrey Smith invented and patented Kinemacolor, which brought alternating color filters that successfully brought color into a black and white world, influencing the progression of film over time as well as modern entertainment display into periods of great advancements. Kinemacolor enabled the success of storing history in greater detail and precision and led to the gradual inventions of implementations of color in film, where color is able to make connections with the audience and bring stories to life. It all started in 1901 when Charles Urban was approached by Edward Raymond Turner, who wanted his financial help to try to make color in film possible. Turner was the inventor of a 3-color motion picture system, which was patented on March 22, 1899. It consisted of a 3-lens projector as well as a rotating disc with 3 color filters attached. The process turned out to be impractical. Later on, when Turner had a heart attack on March 9, 1903, Urban appealed to George Aubrey Smith and thought of continuing Turner's work to create a successful system. After a few years of experimentation, Smith realized that he was able to produce a satisfactory result using 2 colors, red and green, and Kinemacolor was made. He patented his new color process in November 1906, in which he described that Kinemacolor was a practical method by which the well-known photographs or anime bioscope moving pictures may be projected onto the colors of nature approximately instead of black and white in usual. The appearance of color in film, though based on an illusionary image, became extremely popular, and Kinemacolor came to prosper in the following years. On March 9, 1908, Smith gave a presentation before the Royal Society of Arts, where he discussed the process of developing Kinemacolor from Turner's work. He received several pieces of positive feedback. Henry Wood, secretary of the society, claimed, "I wish to express, on behalf of the society, the great satisfaction all present at having seen Mr. Smith's wonderful pictures. This event was the first to pave its way towards Kinemacolor's success." On February 26, 1906, 21 short films in color were played at the Palace Theatre in London. This presentation was the first to introduce film in color to the world. Following this, Kinemacolor films were shown starting from March 1st that would continue on for 18 months. Later on, it would be the British royal family that would popularize the emergent film industry and bring Kinemacolor to its peak. Royalty offered guaranteed justification, as it signified exceptionality, and everybody looked to the royals for guidance. Urban decided to exploit public ceremonialism, which is thought to be extremely important in bonding nation and empire at that time. First was the coronation of King George V on June 22, 1911. The showpiece immediately roused audiences who were excited to see a coronation in color. The investiture of the Princess of Wales then followed the coronation on the 10th of July, and 15 days later, the prince himself went to see the colored films, bringing along waves of people who came to witness his presence. A member of the audience analyzed the effect of color on these films. The primary colors only were reproduced on the films, everything else brownish gray. The effect was perhaps more weird than beautiful. Despite its shortcomings to present non-primary shades, Kinemacolor was still widely appreciated because of its ability to preserve significant events in a lifelike form at that time. The bioscope noted that the advances made by Kinemacolor throughout 1911 as well as its popularity. Color has become the sine qua non of the picture theater program, and one cannot pass along the streets without seeing the announcements of exhibitors that they are fully alive to this.
December 1911, the Delhi Durbar. George V is honored as emperor. For the first time, color film records an imperial event outside Britain. The British have been in India for over 200 years.
Kinemacolor's main success was his production of the Delhi Durbar colored film. Urban's team was given permission by King George V to personally supervise the recordings of anything regarding this event to honor the succession of him. Before exhibiting his films, Urban commented, "I was met on every side with cries of derision, but they had only seen it in the monotone, and I had no fear of the receptions of the pictures in natural color." He planned to present the current history as theater. He combined his footage, which became a program titled "With Our King and Queen Through India," and organized for fanfares and music to play. Although limited in range, Kinemacolor's color reproduction added a sense of realism to the footage of the Delhi Darbar. The enhanced visual experience Kinemacolor created contributed to its appeal and helped establish it as the leading color motion picture process of its time. A review in the Bioscope claimed, "The cinematograph, in short, is the modern elixir of life." Urban was now perceived as somebody who made time travel possible by being able to store history in detail and precision. In 2 years, he had earned around 64,000 sterlings from his work of Kinemacolor. But just when Urban and Smith were flourishing, they were disturbed by William Friesgreen. He had patented a system, Biocolor, in 1905 that used a prism and 2 pictures of orange, red, and blue-green. Seeing that Kinemacolor was so popular, Biocolor sued Urban's company for infringement of the Friesgreen patent. Subsequently, Urban called for an injunction to deny Biocolor from showing his films because it violated Smith's 1906 patent. Yet, Friesgreen was wealthy and got a good lawyer, Lord Justice Buckley, to support himself. In March 14th, Buckley claimed that the Kinemacolor patent was imprecisely worded. The patent, I think, is invalid because it does not achieve the result which the patentee says it will achieve. Smith says, "Drop the tricolor blue. Do not employ the blue end of the spectrum. Blue or approximately blue will still be reproduced. It will not." The patent is consequently invalid. His argument that the patent claimed to produce natural colors using Kinemacolor but could not produce the color blue due to its red and green filters was proclaimed to be true, and the Kinemacolor patent was revocated. Although Kinemacolor went on a certain decline in popularity, it had a profound impact on the development of film throughout the 20th century. It not only enabled the preservation of history with enhanced detail and precision, but also served as a catalyst for the gradual introduction of color into film, breathing life into stories through the use of visuals.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
15 years after Kinemacolor's downfall, The Wizard of Oz was produced using Technicolor, a color technique invented shortly after Kinemacolor's fall that was built onto it. America was in a period of suffering from the Great Depression, and the lively color film served as a source of light to many. The depiction of color was still quite weak at the time, so the filmmakers presented Dorothy slippers as red instead of silver due to the high saturation of the color red that would have a better visual effect, like the green Emerald City, the red of Dorothy's slippers, and the yellow of the yellow brick road, and how these vibrant colors contrast with the rest of the scene. The colors also add up to create a more magical atmosphere. An audience member commented, "Colorization would make the clip where Dorothy opens her door to step into another land more believable," and they were right. I love this movie, and I always have. The effect of color on arousal has also been scientifically proven. In one study, an experiment was conducted to explore the emotional effects of color in film and television clips. By obtaining psychological measures, while participants watched either monochrome or color versions of the same clip, the results proved that for each of the clips rated positive, neutral, and negative, according to content, those with color had a better effect of arousal on the audience than the clips in black and white. Moreover, in today's films, color is an essential part of making the story come to life. Pixar's director of photography Daniel Feinberg claims, "Lighting and color are part of the backbone of emotion." In the film Wall-E, color is used to highlight the important scene where Wall-E discovers a living object in somewhere that is supposed to be uninhabitable and deserted. After watching scenes in a constant tan color palette, vibrant green suddenly appears to amplify the moment. Ultimately, Kinemacolor was the first to create a huge surge in film, replacing those of black and white into color everywhere, from the productions of Hollywood to television in the average citizen's house. The films made today would not have been so lifelike without Kinemacolor. Together, Charles Urban and George Albert Smith created the color system, which set numerous advancements in motion, eventually shaping into the colorful world of film we live in today.